celebration of my 21st birthday, I would like to invite you to have a beer with me. I purchased a pack of Magic Hat number 9, and I thought I would have some of it tonight and share with you. I already opened the bottle, so you won't be hearing that. I also took off the cap because I love the message that the caps say. So this one says, "Never eat anything bigger than your head." That's some good advice. Alright, beer time. There's something so tasty about a Magic Hat. I have been a fan of Magic Hats since I was introduced to them. I think they're a very overall interesting brewer. I do wish to travel to the Magic Hat Brewery, which I believe is in Burlington, Vermont. It might not be in Burlington exactly, but I know it's in Vermont somewhere. And I would love to go someday. I have never been to Vermont. I have been very close, about 20 minutes away, but I've never been. So I have to change that when I venture to the brewery someday. They also have the Ben & Jerry's ice cream factory in Vermont, and I love me some ice cream. So beer and ice cream would be a perfect combination. Not together, but in general. So, my birthday was on October 7th, which means I, in the United States, am now able to drink alcohol. And I've never been to another country before, aside from I think I went to the Bahamas or something like that when I was much younger. And obviously I wasn't drinking alcohol because I think I was 3. But I'm able to drink. And I want to just say, I don't condone drinking, don't condone underage drinking, but it is your life, your body, your choices. Just don't think because a YouTuber is drinking a beer that it is appropriate for you to follow in my actions or anyone's actions who you see drinking. So, happy October. Happy birthday to all of my fellow Libras. And happy birthday to all of the Scorpios out there who are also October babies. You're not forgotten about. It's been an absolutely wonderful month. I thought I could fill you guys in on exactly what's been going on. So, aside from my birthday, I'll quickly mention what we did. That evening, I went out for some karaoke with some friends, and I didn't really expect all my friends to show up. I ended up having, I believe, about 18 different people. Some coworkers who were my age, some adults who were in their mid-40s and 50s. I had so many people show up. My best friend showed up. There was such an amazing energy in the room that night, and there was just so much love going around, so much excitement. It was very exciting turning 21, not because I could drink, but because I was able to go into a new environment in the world. That's the environment of bars, and bars can be sketchy. It can be very overwhelming, but I had a lot of fun. There's something very social about going to a bar with people. I love the taste of the Magic Hats. The bottle just says number 9 ale with natural flavor. Magic Hat Brewing Company, South Burlington, Vermont. I was right. And Rochester, New York. A performance in every bottle. And it says not quite pale ale on it. What I like the most about Magic Hats is they're not too dark of a beer, but they're also not very light. So I love coffee, if you don't know that about me. I'm a huge coffee connoisseur, and I don't particularly like light roast coffees. I find them to be very acidic and just very weak. However, I don't find dark roast coffee to always be up my alley. I prefer a nice medium blend, something that has a little bite to it, but nothing that is too overwhelming, and that is just overall too dark. Now, that's not saying I don't enjoy dark coffee every now and then, because preferably I drink dark roast, because medium roasts are usually on the dollar end if you go to a diner. But I like me a good medium beer, something that isn't going to overwhelm me with a hoppy, bland taste, but something that also isn't going to have a lot of bite. And that's why I think Magic Hats are the perfect combination of both. The little banner around the cap reads, "The ancient ritual of brewing. A distinctly rich and flavorful beer is a performance to behold. Our mysterious," I don't know how to pronounce that word, "of time-honored ingredients harmonizes with chaotic chemistry, humble patience, blind faith to create unique beers to share in rosing companies of kindred spirits. Cheers." Well, I will drink to that. Okay. So, aside from my birthday, it's been a very, very, very busy month for me. I recently got a promotion at my job. So now I'm a manager, and I'm very, very excited to take on the job. I'm very excited for the new opportunity I've been given, because managing is something I'm interested in, but I'm also very nervous because I don't want to cross too many lines, but I know that is part of my job description, so we'll definitely see how it all pans out. I am just very pleased with how everything has been going lately. getting the promotion was something I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know when. I didn't know so soon. So when I had my second interview for the position, I didn't hear back for a little bit. And of course, I was worried. I was like, oh well, looks like I'm not going to get this promotion. And then about a month and a half later, I was contacted, and in fact I did get the promotion, and I would be starting in less than 3 weeks. So I had to put a transfer in, I had to do all this paperwork and processes to finally be able to be in a new location, to be managing, and to be having a new beginning. This all fell during the week of my birthday. It just felt very reflective in the sense that I was starting a new beginning, a new position, a new leadership role, something that I can look back on in the future and learn from, and something that's going to help me grow as a person. So, to receive such an experience at this age, right on the week of my birthday, this transition period, this change, this clean slate, it felt absolutely wonderful. It was exactly what I needed. I feel emotionally cleansed. I feel excited and nervous for the future, but here for the ride. Lastly, what's really happened this month is I went to a wedding. It was my cousin's wedding. It was in an outdoor setting, so the foliage is in full turnover right now, and pretty much, I'm assuming most people know what foliage is, but if for some reason the term doesn't sound quite familiar, it's when the leaves go from being green to going into like the yellowy, kind of orangey red state, when they just change and bloom into a different light before winter comes. And it's so beautiful. The setting of the wedding was right beneath a giant tree, red and orange leaves falling on the ground, so many crunchy noises, and it was about 4:20 to 4:30 when the ceremony began, so the sun was just starting to creep down below the trees. It was a very beautiful setting, and there's so much love in the air. I love October because there's so much energy about in this world, and it's so much fun to discover all of it. You get that scary, dark feeling around Halloween. You start to get the different flavors of the season. You start to see a lot more orange, like orange, like for pumpkins, and orange, like writings everywhere. There's pumpkin beers, which I've been a humongous fan of this season. And it's just such a amazing feeling in the air once it starts to get that little brisk temperature out there. You start to have to wear jackets. I mean, right now, I'm in a long sleeve shirt when just last week I was still wearing t-shirts and not going out with sweatshirts on. Now you have to wear your flannels, your boots. You have to really prepare yourself for the change. It's such a refreshing time of the year for me, especially being a Libra. This being my birth month just relates so much to this time of the year. This is my birthstone. It's a rather pretty ring that I have. Other than that, I don't really think much else is new in my life. I got a new phone, and it's kind of cool because it's motion censored. So if I move it, it lights up. So it's kind of like cool like that, but it's nothing too fancy. So, my friends, this wasn't really a prompt out video. I didn't really think of much to say. I just wanted to hang out with you, sort of wind down, start off a new week, feeling fresh, feeling new, feeling excited. What are you going to be for Halloween? I'd love to hear about it. I'm thinking I'm going to be a skeleton. I have these gorgeous skeleton leggings. I'm trying to remember where I put them. I don't think I know where they are. I'll post a picture. They're super, super cute. And I was thinking of wearing those with like a top with skeleton prints on the sleeves. And then doing skeleton makeup. So kind of what I'm wearing now. Make my eyebrows rather dark. And then I got a white paint. It's like a pencil. It's like a kind of like an eyeliner paint that I'm gonna use a little on my face to sort of pale myself out, give me a nice fade effect, and be a skeleton. Something like that, I'm thinking. Not too sure. Anything could happen. Do you guys like my stuffed animal? That is my stuffed animal from when I was a very little girl. I sleep with it every night, and it is a beanie baby. And its name is Bunny Baby. I lost the little heart tag that comes on the beanie babies, but I still have the little embroidered heart. Let me show you. So right there, it also has a rattle in it for like a child. Like this is for toddlers. This is why it's a little surprising a 21-year-old still has one in bed. But I've had it since I was a little girl. I sleep next to it almost every night. I brought him to the Hollywood sign in California. I brought him all around like the coast. I brought him to Arizona. I feel like I brought him to somewhere else. I feel like Texas. I took a photo of him there. I'll put a little something together. I wanted to do more of a beer tasting video, like get little sample cups with a few different beers and talk about them. But I don't know much about beer, and I know a lot more about coffee, so something like that is more up my alley. I know more about coffee than anyone really ever should, and it's for fun. It's great getting to really sit down and go out for a cup of coffee with a friend and say like, oh, I taste this in my cup, like what are you tasting? Usually they're like sugar, milk, but my palate picks up the notes that were brewed into the coffee, the different flavors, the cherries, if it's like a dark roast with cherries. Just coffee is so yummy. Too bad it's 10 o'clock at night, and I think a cup of coffee is way out of the question. But I have this lovely beer instead. Like I said, actual beer tasting video would have been fun, but I don't know much about beer. I feel like I'd make a fool out of myself. And even with this video, doing the slight discussion about what kind of brew this is, it's just, I don't know the correct terminology at all. But I'm enjoying it. That's all that matters. Recently, I've been enjoying the Shipyard Pumpkinhead. They give you a sugar, cinnamon, caramel rim in some places, so you get the beer with about that much sugar and sweet and caramel and ooey gooey goodness, and it's so delicious. I'm just sitting there at the bar, like going like this and tracing my finger around the rim, licking it all off, just because it totally feeds into my sweet tooth. Oh, it's so delicious. Just like that, it's gone. These glasses were actually from my grandfather's like veterans lounge, and my aunt was able to get a handful of these before the place closed down, and my grandfather used to go pretty frequently, so it meant a lot to my father that he was able to get one of those glasses after his father passed away. So that was for my grandfather, that beer right there. I hope that you are all doing very well. I hope that October is treating you well. And if it isn't treating you well, there is always going to be another day. You will always find that light at the end of your tunnel. I know that sounds so, what's the word I'm looking for? So generic, but it's true. I feel mentally, physically, emotionally recharged after this past month. I hope that you do as well. And I want to say from my heart to yours, have a wonderful rest of your evening.